Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video will be the Week 14 NFL 2019 predictions. If you guys missed it earlier, I did the Week 13 results mixed with the Chargers grading video, just so I'd have one less video to have to worry about today. So with that, let's go ahead and get to the predictions. The Chargers and Jaguars, 2, 4, and 8 teams, do battle in Jacksonville. Jaguars lost 4 straight games by 17 plus points. Maybe that trend continues. I'm going to pick my Chargers, not just because I'm a fan, but because I do believe that this is a good game to turn around in. Turn not the season around, because it's a little late for that. But anyways. Today, the Dallas Cowboys, 6-6, travel to the 6-6 Bears. Dak Prescott is 6-8 on the road this season. And I believe that trend continues to be downward. I think Chicago has a bounce-back game after some depressing weeks on offense and maybe a little bit on defense. We have the Deadskins, 3-9, traveling to the 9-3 Packers. Aaron Rodgers has 11 touchdowns and no picks in the last 4 games versus Washington, including playoffs. I think Rodgers wins again. I think the Redskins even though they're 3-9, those 3 wins were probably against some pretty shitty teams, except for last week when they played the Panthers, which aren't exactly a powerhouse in their own right. The 3-8-1 Lions traveled to the 8-4 Vikings. Vikings are 5-0 at home this season, 3-4 on the road. That means the Vikings have a very favorable schedule moving forward because, well, not really. Actually, no, they don't. They have their last 4 games, or after this one, I think, or their last 3 games or something like that, are going to be road games. So, there's that. But I do think the Vikings win. The Lions, I think, will put up a fight just like they did against the Bears, but I think the Lions are just going to lie in and lose this one. The 4-8 Broncos traveled to the 8-4 Texans. The Texans are 7-2 against AFC teams this season. The Broncos will not have Von Miller, so half their pass rush is gone, meaning that they can try to chip Chubb without having to worry about Miller on the other side. I think the Texans win again and move to 9-4 and keep their lead in their division. The 10-2 Ravens traveled to Buffalo to take on the Bills. The Ravens allowed fewer than 25 points in 8 straight games. I think that trend continues. I also think the Bills will be held to a low number as well. This will be a slugfest, much like the 49ers game. Ravens have a chance to win this one. This one's very much a toss-up. If you made me pick now, though, I'd pick the Ravens. But, they might be due for a loss. Who knows? The Bengals at 1-11 take on the 5-7 Browns. Browns are 2 games back from the Steelers to the AFC wildcard spot. I think they make up a game here, potentially, if the Steelers lose against the Cardinals, which they won't. But I do think the Browns win, knock the Bengals down to 1-12, and the Browns will be 6-7. The 10-2 Niners travel to the 10-2 Saints. Breeze is 2-8 against 10-plus win teams in his career. I think he makes it 3-8. I think the Saints will be too powerful for the 49ers. I think the defense does rile quite a bit up when it has the crowd noise. They're not going to have it here. So I think the Saints win and move to 11-2 and keep their first place seeding in the NFC playoff picture. The 5-7 Panthers travel to 3-9 Falcons. Falcons have 4 consecutive wins versus Panthers, 7 of last 8 they've won. I think they probably win here again, honestly. I'm going to say this one's a spoiler. The 3-9 Dolphins take on the 4-8 Jets, and the Dolphins have won 4 straight games versus the Jets. I think they lose this one, honestly. No, I think they win this one. The Jets just lost the Bengals. I can't take this squad seriously at this point, so I think the Dolphins make it a tie between them and the Jets in their division. The 6-6 Colts traveled to Tampa Bay to take on the 5-7 Buccaneers. The Colts lost 4 of last 5 games, started the season 5-2. That's going to be a problem for them. I do think they win this one and keep right behind the Texans, but I do think the Colts will win this one. Jameis Winston or whoever will play quarterback will probably turn the ball over a couple times, which will essentially kill them. The 7-5 Steelers traveled to Arizona to take on 3-8-1 Cardinals. Cardinals are 0-6 versus teams above 500 this season. I almost want to say that they may cause a spoiler here, but I'm going to go with the Steelers. I'm going to go with the safe route. I think they move to 8-5, and the Cardinals drop to 3-9-1. The 7-5 Titans travel to 6-6 Raiders. The Derek Carr has a 7-1 in the last 8 home games. I think he loses again here. I think the Titans have turned around since benching Marcus Mariota. I think Ryan Tannehill has finally found out that he's a good quarterback. He just needed a team to be on that knows how to properly use his abilities. But yeah, I think the Titans win, knock the Raiders down to 6-7. I think they move up to 8-5 and try to keep pace with the Texans as well. Then we have the AFC Championship rematch between the Chiefs and the Patriots. Patriots have won 18 consecutive home games. I think that streak snaps Sunday. I think the Chiefs will have a turnaround game this week. They obviously decimated the Raiders, but the Raiders aren't a good team. I think they beat the Patriots, make a statement, move to 9-4, knock the Patriots down to 10-3, to make it to where if the Bills do beat the Ravens, they could potentially have a chance to take the division in the final game of the season, depending on how the rest of the season goes. The 10-2 Seahawks travel to 7-5 Rams. Seahawks are 7-1 versus NFC teams this season. I think the Rams get it done. I think they moved to 8-5. They barely lost by, I think, a field goal to the Seahawks last game they played against each other in Seattle. I think the opposite happens here. They split the series. I don't know if the Seahawks will take the division or lose the division lead. It just depends on if the 49ers do beat the Saints. But either way, it keeps them in the playoff picture and basically right on the asses of the 49ers. 2-10 Giants travel to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. The Eagles have won 9 of the last 10 meetings against the Giants. I think it continues here. Eli Manning is starting this week. I believe that does play a huge factor. Eli has been god-awful the last couple seasons. I think he continues to be god-awful, and those are the predictions. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.